Good afternoon and welcome to the regular meeting of Westminster's Mayor and Common Council. Council meets here at City Hall on the second and fourth Mondays of every month. Please note that the council meetings, although open to the public here at City Hall, are also available and streamed live on the city's YouTube page, as well as the Community Media Center channel and website. We'll begin as we do every meeting with the pledge of the flag, followed by a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As a courtesy, please take a moment to silence your cell phone or any other electronic devices you have that might obstruct the meeting. Thank you. Copies of the agenda and the entire information package the council will be using are available online on the city's website. We have one item on the agenda. Well, no, sorry, we have a couple of things. First of all, the first item is a committee appointment. We have an appointment by the mayor. Mayor Becker, would you care to?
I would like to appoint Ms. Robin Skirnick to the Board of Elections. Unfortunately, we had a member who stepped down due to not residing within the city limits, and so we were able to replace her with Ms. Skirnick.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Becker. We have a nomination from the mayor. We have a motion to advise and consent to the mayor's nomination.
Mr. President.
Been a motion by Mr. Cavacci. Is there a second? There's a second by Ms. Gilbert. All those in favor of advising and consenting to the mayor's nomination, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes see it, and the ayes have it. And now we have a complete Board of Elections again, which is good news just a week before the election.
Mr. President, just note that I'm abstaining.
All right, we will note that Mr. Hoffman abstained on that. Next item on the agenda is presentation of the fiscal year 24 budget. And we'll start with the mayor, who I think has a few introductory comments.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. I want to say thank you very much to all the hard work that was put in preparing the budget that will be presented this evening, especially the work led by Ms. Impulse, our city administrator, Mrs. Rogers, our director of finance, and also Ms. Gardner, who has been with the city as a for contract for quite some time in helping us get through the budget and prepare work for the budget. I think the budget is phenomenal. I would say I'm pleased to report that the budget provides a raise as well as a bonus for our city employees, anyway, in the growth of inflation over the last year. And I'm also very excited about some other components of the budget, especially that you'll hear about during the presentation, including a significant commitment to downtown Westminster. I know that that's been a focus of not only myself, but the council over the last couple of years. We also have quite a bit of funding in the budget through grants, through the hard work as well as the staff. So I'm just looking forward to the presentation and some discussion about the budget over the next few days. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Dr. Becker. And on behalf of the Finance Committee, let me just say that we also appreciate the staff's hard work led by Ms. Impulse, especially during her her challenges. She was able to get the budget done, and we're pleased to be able to move forward with it. I'm very pleased to note that the city's property tax rate will not increase for the 11th year in a row. When other bodies are looking at doing just that, we're able to continue to hold the line here in Westminster, and not just hold the line, but we've got a budget that is built to remain that way in the years ahead. So that's the important. Citizens of Westminster, I think, can count on not seeing any increases, not just this year, but in the immediate future. It's a balanced budget, actually slightly in the black, which is great. Allowed us to add a little bit more funding to our emergency reserves. But within this budget, we're able to continue to provide our citizens with the essential services they rely on in their daily lives, as well as continue to make an investment. And that's critical because we've got things we need to do, new amenities that our citizens want, and activities that we need to be engaged in if we want Westminster to be able to to grow a bit in the future and continue to achieve is some additional economic activity for the city. So very pleased that the Finance Committee is able to work with the mayor and the staff going forward with this budget, and looking forward to a full discussion tomorrow afternoon when we have our work session, and look forward to adopting the budget. And with that, we'll turn it over to Ms. Imholz for the budget presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll jump right in with the PowerPoint presentation. Mr. Moore, next slide. Budget drivers for the fiscal year 24 budget, as the council president indicated, that there's no change in the real property tax rates. So the fiscal year 24 proposed real property tax rate is 56 cents. The water and sewer rates will increase as they have in the past, 3.5% increase in water rates and 5% increase in the sewer rates. The consumer price index, which is also known as the CPI, increased 6% from February 2022 to February 2023, and the fiscal year 24 operating budget reflects those increases. Then, as we discussed in the constant yield hearing at the last council meeting, the net assessable base increased by approximately 47.8 million, or 2.34% from the prior year, and the fiscal year 24 revenues reflect that. Next slide. When we put together the budget for the city on behalf of the mayor and for the mayor and for the council's review, we first and foremost take into consideration the vision statement for the city. And I'm just going to reread that. We don't talk about this that often, but it's a good time just to reiterate what the vision for the community is, which is Westminster is a safe, healthy, and engaged community where new ideas and sustainable innovation enhance the community's quality of life and create economic opportunities for today's residents and for future generations. Next slide. In addition to the vision statement, the mayor and council have set a strategic plan that includes 5 critical success factors. And we use these success factors in creating and implementing policies that the mayor and council set. And certainly those policies are reflected in the budget. 5 critical success factors include strong partnerships and engaged community, water and sewer capacity for future generations, economic activity and growth, responsible stewardship of city resources, and a safe and livable community. Next slide. Some of the items that you're going to see in the fiscal year 24 budget for each of these 5 critical success factors include, under strong partnerships and engaged community, we're continuing our partnership with the downtown business community. In fact, we just had a downtown business community meeting at 3 o'clock this afternoon, which is why we don't have any staff here right now. But the budget also includes a partnership with McDaniel College and Carroll Community College. Under the 5 critical success factor of water and sewer capacity for future generations, the fiscal year 24 budget includes funding for the Pure Water Westminster project, that's also known as the Water Reuse Project, as well as our ongoing efforts with inflow and infiltration, or the I&I mitigation project. Under the success factor of economic activity and growth, the fiscal year 24 budget includes pedestrian improvement and expansion of the holiday lights on Main Street, as well as a master planning effort to establish a new vision for the redevelopment of downtown. Next slide. Under the critical success factor of responsible stewardship of city resources, the fiscal year 24 budget includes items to attract and retain a quality workforce, ensure appropriate maintenance of existing infrastructure, implement the Wakefield Valley Park Master Plan, and utilize the grant funding that the mayor indicated we have received. Final critical success factor is safe and livable community, and the fiscal year 24 budget includes efforts to seek funding to connect Wakefield Valley Community Trail with the Westminster Community Trail. We currently have 2 funding applications out there right now to fund that. Updating our rental property licensing program, and to continue to enhance recruiting and retention efforts for public safety positions. Next slide. The City of Westminster budget itself includes 6 funds. The first fund is the general fund. That's where the city's core services, including the police department, the recreation department, public works department, and administrative functions. as well as a public housing fund, which is where we have our public housing authority and housing choice voucher program, as well as a capital project fund, which accounts for all capital improvement program activities. We call those CIP activities. And then we have our enterprise funds, which are self-sustaining funds, and that includes the water fund, which funds the production, treatment, and distribution of potable water, the sewer fund, which includes the collection and delivery of sewage for treatment and disposal, and the fiber fund, which includes construction and operation of our Westminster fiber network. Next slide, please. The fiscal year 24 budget includes the following. Under the general fund, there are 17.9 million in revenues, 17.7 million in expenditures. The remaining amount of that is being sent to CIP to help fund the capital improvement projects outlined in that fund. The revenue for the housing department is 3.2 million and the expenditures are 3.3 million. So we'll be dipping into some housing reserves for that. Those are all HUD funds. So we're only spending HUD funds that we have. We won't be dipping into any other reserves for those expenditures. And part of the reason for that is because the HUD funding comes in at a different time of the year than we do. Federal government is on a different fiscal year than we are. So our numbers get accounted in a little bit of a different way. Under the revenue side, for the sewer fund, the sewer fund is planning to bring in 7.9 in revenue and spend 7.8 in revenue. We'll note, however, in the capital improvement fund, we do have expenditures under the capital fund that will be using the leftover of that sewer revenue in order to fund those capital funds. Under the water budget and for revenue, we're projecting to receive 6.4 million in revenues and expend 5.9 in operating. Again, the difference between those will be sent to the capital improvement fund for water capital projects. In the fiber fund, we're projecting to receive 1.7 million. That includes funding that we've received in a form of a grant. And then we have planned expenditures of 1.5 million. The difference between the two will be used to pay for debt service in the future years. The fiscal year 24 has some fun operating highlights in the form of grants. And that includes a $100,000 grant to Magic, $10,000 grant to the Westminster Municipal Band, $7,500 grant to the Heart of the Civil War, and $125,000 grant to the Westminster Volunteer Fire Department. And then my favorite part of the budget, next slide. Oops, this is not my favorite part of the budget. This is the most difficult part of the budget. It's our benefit costs. We've experienced quite a few increases this year in benefit costs, including 14% increase in health insurance. Pension rates went up from 10.9% to 11.3% for non-sworn staff. And for sworn staff, they increased from 36.2% to 36.9%. No change in the rates for the other insurances that we have, including life, short-term disability, and long-term disability. However, we do have an increase potentially in our workers' comp rates from 8 to 15%, depending on positions filled and salaries. Workers' comp is a little odd. It says a snapshot based on a particular day. At the end of the year, they reconcile based on who you had working for you a year later and what those folks were making, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a little difficult to determine the rates at this point. And then our general insurance general insurance rates are estimated to increase 15 to 30%. All of that is included in the fiscal year 24 numbers that I just presented to you. Next slide. This is my favorite slide and a favorite fund in the budget. These are the big ticket items that we see out in the public. Councilmember Dayhoff refers to as delayed maintenance. Is that correct, sir? Deferred maintenance. Some of those highlights include completion of the historic clock tower restoration project, which is slated to be completed in August. Completion of the municipal pool project. The pool will be open on May 27th. The project itself the second phase of it will be finished towards the end of the summer, possibly in the middle of the summer. You'll see that the capital improvement program continues our enhanced nutrient reduction or ENR project at the water reclamation facility, and we have some water main replacements planned for Route 27 as well as Main Street. We're going to return to paving in fiscal year 24, utilizing the funds from fiscal year 23 and fiscal year 24. We've received a grant for some pedestrian improvements along Main Street and Pennsylvania Avenue. We're slated to pave Pennsylvania Avenue, and then we'll use some of that grant money to come in behind and work on the crosswalks to include, hopefully, McDaniel logo and those crosswalks. So we'll have a visible, identifiable connection between McDaniel and the Main Street area, which I'm really excited about. We'll continue the work on the infiltration and inflow project. The fiscal year 24 budget includes a camera work on that. So we're gonna take a picture of the whole system, and that will help us make a plan for the next 5 years of what needs to be done moving forward. And of course, we've got our water reuse project. And the CIP this year includes $11 million in federal, state, and county grant funds, which we're very excited about. So we are trying to be good stewards of the hard-earned taxpayer dollars by searching for other ways to fund things that are fundable by other entities. And so I think this particular budget we're applying all those funds that we worked so hard last year to achieve. The preparation of the budget is a significant undertaking by the city's management team and other staff members. And I offer my sincere thanks to all who played a role in that development, including the Director of Finance, Teresa Rogers, Director of Housing Services, Eric Brown, Human Resources Director, Alturay McCullough, Director of Recreation and Parks, Abby Gruber, Deputy Director of Public Works, John Dick, Streets Department Superintendent, Steve Strasberg, Utilities Superintendent, Corey Stauffer, Sewer Department Superintendent, Vance Summerhill, Water Department Superintendent, Brett Grossnickel, our new IT Director, Rick Moore, Executive Assistant, Erica Kirkner, and City Clerk, Doug Barber. And as the mayor indicated, I would also like to acknowledge the contributions of Krista Gardner with SEK, who's provided some invaluable assistance to the city. I also want to express my gratitude to Mayor Becker and the members of the Common Council's Finance Committee, including Council President Pat Guerrero and Councilmember Hoff. They've devoted considerable time to reviewing the fiscal year 24 budget proposal, and their guidance and direction were instrumental in the budget's development. Mr. President, that concludes the presentation.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Olson. That was very helpful and informative. With an overview of the budget, of course, we'll have the chance over the next few days to dig in, to put in some detail. We get together again for the moment. Does anybody have any comments that they'd like to make before we move on to the public hearing? All right, very good. In that case, we'll move on to the public hearing.
You want to introduce it?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's it.
That's right. We have the, let's move on to the ordinance. That's right. Go ahead.
I somehow have managed to forget my esteemed colleague who's not here right now, our police chief, Tom Lebaugh, who was always first in line. Because his everything I ask for always comes in first. He's my superstar and someone I missed him. So I want to take the opportunity formally to thank the police chief as well.
Never want to forget the chief.
Now,
Thank you. All right. So now we'll move on to introduction of the budget ordinance. So this is introduction of ordinance number 2023-03, the fiscal year 24 budget. An ordinance of the mayor and common council of Westminster, Maryland, approving and adopting a budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2024. I have a motion. I don't think you have anything to add to this, do you? Is it most?
No.
Now a motion to introduce.
I'll make a motion to introduce, President.
All right, thank you. There's a motion by Mr. Hoff.
I'll second it.
Second, there's a second by Mr. Dayhoff. Any discussion or questions, comments? All right, hearing none, we'll move on. We'll vote on introduction. All those in favor of introduction of the budget ordinance, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes seem to have it, the ayes have it. And the ordinance is introduced, and we will plan to vote on it at next Monday's meeting. Special meeting. Now, move on to the public hearing. For that, we will turn to the mayor. The public hearing.
Thank you, Council President. This public hearing has been properly published in the Carroll County Times on Sunday, April 23rd, 2003, and Sunday, April 30th, 2003. Sorry, I'm not quite done yet. No need. The mayor and common council of the city of Westminster are conducting this public hearing on the proposed FY24 budget at the mayor and common council meeting scheduled on Monday, May 1st, 2023, in order to receive public comment on the city of Westminster FY24 budget. Copies of the related materials are available for public inspection in the city clerk's office at 45 West Main Street, Westminster, Maryland, 21157. Please contact City Clerk Doug Barber at 410-848-4938 or email comments@westminstermd.gov to submit comments. The City of Westminster's proposed annual budget fiscal year 2024 is scheduled for adoption on Monday, May 8th, 2023. There's no one here to make a comment, so I will close the public hearing at this time.
Thank you, Dr. Becker. That concludes the public hearing. We'll take a moment for council comments, and we'll include the mayor in that. And this is an opportunity for the mayor and members of the council to report or comment on anything that doesn't appear on this agenda or elsewhere, in the meeting, or you'd like to mention. Dr. Becker, anything you'd like to share?
The only thing I'll share is that this morning at 7:30, Ms. Impulse, myself, Chief Ledwell, Roberta Wyndham, Dr. Rosemans from Carroll Community College, Superintendent Cynthia McCabe, and the president of McDaniel, Julia Jaskins, were all at the college this morning. Carroll County Leadership Panel that was hosted as part of their May 1st symposium. So yours truly was the moderator of the panel. So I think I mentioned that I don't often give him power in those situations. But I would say I think it went incredibly well, and everyone really commented on building community and relationships amongst the organizations that were represented. So Ms. Imhoff and the chief, in my opinion, were the stars of the show. Thank you, Mr. President. That's it.
All right, thank you. Mr. Kavaki. Mr. Nahas.
I thought the panel discussion this morning was excellent. I thought the mayor was excellent. I thought Ms. Involves was excellent. I thought the chief was excellent. And I really liked that the emphasis of the panel discussion this morning was indeed building relationships with our community. And that's what makes Carroll County so strong. That's what makes Westminster so strong. And it was not to be overlooked that the nucleus of the Carroll County leadership discussion was the mayor, the city administrator. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. Ms. Gilbert.
I have not.
Right, Mr. Hahn.
I have nothing.
Right. That was pretty quick. I'll just mention that since we didn't meet this week, I'll just mention that we did have the several of us had the opportunity Saturday to attend the Historical Society's Gala. Ms. Gilbert was there, Mr. Hoff was there. It was great to be there on behalf of the city, to represent us, of course. We are the home to the Historical Society here in Westminster, even though we choose to have the event outside the city. We will forgive them for that. And it was also, of course, we are their landlords here in this building, which they lease. So it was great to be there with them. They had a very successful night. We were able to announce some significant gift that they've been given, which will put them on a far better financial footing for the future. So very pleased about that. And that's all I had. I'll move on now to there's no department heads here to make any give any reports. We'll save that for next week. So we'll move on to citizen comments. Of course, we have no citizens here at the meeting. But we do invite the public to address the mayor and council on any issues that pertain to this afternoon's agenda or any other city issues. We welcome emails, from anybody who cares to comment via comments@westminstermd.gov. All comments received by email will be shared with the mayor and council. We do request that commenters include their address and phone number with their comments. And that's all I have. Is there anything else for the council at this time? Hearing nothing, we'll move on. And that will conclude our agenda and this meeting. Our next regular meeting, or our next full meeting of the council will be tomorrow afternoon for the work session. And then on Monday, next following Monday, we will meet for the final meeting of this mayor and council at 7 p.m. Meeting is adjourned.